boy, we have a problem in terms of the magnitude of the number of gunshot wound victims coming in.
Is this something that you and other people in ER are talking about?
I think the whole hospital is.
I'm standing in Sunnybrook Hospital's trauma bay. This is where a large percentage of gunshot victims are treated. We know gun violence is on the rise in Toronto, and today Sunnybrook Hospital released some startling numbers that show just how many more patients are coming through these doors. In a tweet this morning, Sunnybrook was blunt, saying, quote, "It's clear Toronto has a serious gun problem," and released these numbers to prove its point. In 2014, the hospital treated 64 gunshot victims. The number rose steadily, but last year there was a disturbing jump to 142 victims. That's more than double from 4 years prior. Among the victims treated at Sunnybrook last year were 3 people injured in the Danforth shooting. We see the police tape from shooting scenes, but we rarely see the victims after they are rushed to hospital. It's the staff here in rooms like this that see the devastation gun violence causes firsthand. Here at Sunnybrook, they use what's called the battlefield technique to try and stop patients from bleeding to death.
142 gunshot wound victims is a statistic, but I think it's important to remember each one has a story. Even if they live, it has profound effect on their lives, and this is where the most critical usually goes first if we have multiple casualties, and sometimes we do.
Dr. Tien is a lead trauma surgeon at Sunnybrook. What is that like day after day?
You know, we sort of go day by day, and it's part of the job. So a lot of the times we can put up a bit of an emotional distance, but there's always these cases where it touches a little closer to home that you realize this is awful, and we really need to do something. These numbers are real people coming in, and something needs to be done.
The hospital says it made a conscious decision to take this rare stand, inspired in part after the NRA told anti-gun doctors in the U.S. to, quote, "stay in their lane." They revolted en masse, posting chilling photos of the aftermath in ER rooms.
The entire trauma community in North America and worldwide have really said this is in fact our lane. If someone needs to speak out, it really should be us.
Last year, 236 people were either killed or injured by gun violence. Sunnybrook sees the largest percentage of those victims simply because geographically it's closest to much of the gun violence.